Hello, guys. What is going on? We have made it to Wednesday. We made it to hump day. Cheers, cheese. Today has been one of those days. It has been a tough day, but we are going to truck on to Friday because that is my goal, to make it to Friday. My fun time, the weekend. Want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat. Oh, first and foremost, shout out to everyone watching on Rockfin. Hey guys, how are you doing over there? Let's see what's going on in the chat. What is going on, Hannah G? Oh no, not Nina. Yep, Nina. We're gonna get into that. I have some things to say about that. What is going on, Notori Lee? Baby, this is going to be good. I hope so. I am hoping so here. Greetings, Valerie. She says, hi, chat friends. Nina has proven definitely that she is just another shit lib. What is going on, Ashura? Hey, Valerie, what's up? She says, greetings, Dan O'Neill. Hello. What's going on, Leroy, who is a Sabby member? Shout out to him. Greetings, Eric Thomas. Hey, Lefty friends. I'm back from Canada. They let us back in. That is good to know. I'm happy that I can go back to Canada now. It's been a while. What's going on? The Church of Evil. All Democrats are sellouts. You've heard it here first, folks. Oh, man. Oh, man. Greetings, Gudmundur Sturluson. Greetings from Iceland. All the way from Iceland. Hello, what is going on? Shout out to Greg Bruce, who's a Sabby's member. What's going on? Just going through to say hello to everybody. Greetings, Ben. Hi, Sabby. I love the show. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. What's going on, Jamal Nelson? Hey, all. I see new faces in the chat. What's going on, Sean? How's it going? Oh, man, we have some things to talk about tonight. Greetings, Matt. LOL. I wish I could watch you and Jay at the same time. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think Jay is streaming. Some people do that. They watch two shows at the same time. And I'm like, how are you doing that? Greetings, Carter Gabriel. Hi, Sabby. You are so incredibly wholesome. Oh, thank you. I can be angry, though. I can get there, Carter. What's going on, Seeing the Patreon link on your screen doesn't work, FYI. The link, use the link that's in the description of this video. That'll send you right to it. I don't know what goes on with Patreon sometimes. They have a mind of their own. All right. Shout out to Workers Controller Production, who just became a Sabby's member. Welcome. Got Jimmy intro music playing on TV and Sabs on the phone. I don't know how you guys do that. I don't know how you watch multiple people at the same time. Greetings, Bliss Monkey. Angry some. What's going on, Brian? Hi, Sabby. Finally able to catch at least a little bit of tonight's live. Usually watch the replay. Well, greetings. I'm glad you could join me for the live stream. These are pretty fun. What's going on, Keel Jones? Nina looked at that Katzenberg cash and said, hello, somebody. Oh, no. Sean said, I found you through Jimmy Dore. Thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, for all of you, especially if you're new, if you comment in the chat or the comment section below and let me know like how you found me, that's actually really helpful for me because it helps me figure out where people are getting to see like my videos, because we all know how the algorithm can be. Not favorable. All right, so welcome to Sabs podcast. I'm your host, Sabrina Salvati. If you are new, I want to let you know the Sabs podcast is a part of the Fred Hampton Leftist Network. You can find me there on Thursdays for the Roundtable and Friday evening for the Sabs show. And you can catch me here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings. Shout out to David for the super chat. I love your show. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like what you see. Glad you like what you see. All right, guys, what are we talking about tonight? Brian said, I found you through the Vanguard and Jimmy. Thank you for letting me know. That's really helpful, you guys. Like I'm telling you, the algorithm is not in our favor. It works for me sometimes, but I'm getting better with getting views by people searching, like finding me on YouTube, at least according to my analytics. But a lot of times my views are from external sites like Twitter, Facebook, that kind of thing. But that is changing according to my analytics. What's going on, Frank? Thanks so much for the super chat. Nina and AOC are rubbing our noses in it. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I am going to show you what we are discussing tonight. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nina Turner joins TYT. I said Nina. See, I've been in Boston too long, man. I'm starting to put R's at the end of words that don't have an R. Nina Turner joins TYT. Jill Stein on MPP. That is an interesting video clip I want you to hear. And RIP Norm Macdonald. So yes, we have lost another great one. I have a lot to say about that, especially someone who I used to watch SNL in the 90s religiously. I don't watch it so much so more. It's not funny anymore, like in my opinion, but I'll get into that later. Can get into that later. Let's get into it, guys. Let's dive right into, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Nina Turner story because I know that's what a lot of you are probably waiting for. I have to admit, this didn't really surprise me the way that it did some people. I'll tell you why in a second. Hold on. All right, let me share my screen because I want you guys to see this. Because when I saw this, I was like, well, there you go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So I saw this last night. It was after I did my stream already. It says, this is the young Turks here. This was on Twitter. News. Nina Turner joins TYT and will regularly guest host The Young Turks, The Damage Report, Indisputable TYT, and The Conversation. And they mentioned their membership here. And here's the picture of Nina. It says Senator Nina Turner. And I have to show you some of the comments in the chat, you guys, because this was cracking me up last night. Dim Exit said one of the final pieces shifts rightward. Kate said, I thought she was going to run again. This seems like another direction. Cosmo said, you can smell the desperation. Let me pop out. I'm going to tell you what I think about this. So here's the thing. Last night, when I read this, I didn't really get angry. I felt like I should have been upset, livid. I felt like I should have been disappointed. But to be honest with you guys, I felt nothing. I felt nothing. And I had to reflect on that. I had to ask myself, why didn't I feel anything? And I think part of it is because I just don't expect much anymore. After the squad, I just don't. It's interesting to me, though, because it was just about a month and a half ago when myself, those of us of FHL, we were trying to tell people who told us that Nina was going to be different. They said, not Nina. She's not going to be like the squad. She's not going to go that way. She's going to be different. And we were trying to tell people, mm, doubt it. Because when I saw that Bakari Sellers was a part of her campaign, and I don't know if you guys know who Bakari Sellers is, but he was really, really hard on Bernie Sanders. He's corporate, he's as establishment as they come, and he attacked Bernie heavily during his campaign. So when I saw that he was a part of Nina's campaign, I was like, well, there you go. There goes another one. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make any sense. So I actually wasn't surprised. I saw a couple videos. People were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I was just like, meh. I mean, it was just last night. I showed you guys AOC's Tax the Rich dress and that whole fiasco at the Met Gala, that whole performance stunt. You just can't be surprised by this stuff anymore, you guys. You just can't. And so for me, I just thought, well, as I predicted, didn't know she would go to TYT, but I did predict that it would go in this direction. And let me explain why I'm not keen on TYT. I actually used to like TYT. And over time, I have watched them start to lose their journalistic integrity. I watched them lie about force the vote. I watched them smear Aaron Mate. I think a lot of us saw that whole, episode there where they were saying that he was, I think it was a Russian asset or whatever. Like they tried to lie about him, about his journalistic work, not personal attacks, but about his actual work, that his work wasn't true, that it wasn't real. That was the worst. That was just terrible. I have watched them laugh at Julian Assange, which is interesting because we're supposed to be for, free speech here, but whatever's, right? TYT is on the corporate algorithm, you guys. So the whole censorship thing doesn't affect them like it affects me and all of us with smaller channels that are not on that corporate algorithm. It does not affect them. That's why they can talk about certain issues and not get their videos pulled. But if we do it, our videos are pulled or we'll get a strike. Pay close attention to these things. And I've just watched over time how Jink and Anna have just become just so much like mainstream media. The more and more I would watch them, the more and more they would sound like MSNBC. Then I saw, Anna smear homeless people in Los Angeles, smearing people for being homeless, the ones living in the tent communities. What I have to tell you is, guys, these people are rich. These people are wealthy. They're the ones that can pretend to fight for these issues, healthcare for everybody, increase $15 minimum wage. But if at any point these issues aren't popular anymore and they want to follow the money, they can switch their tune and it's okay for them because they're wealthy and they don't actually need these things that a lot of us are fighting for, are still fighting for. Thank you so much, Frank, for the super chat. Google and Twitter are crushing FHL and William Jacobs. What do you know? What do you know? Thanks so much for the super chat. So it's just things that I've seen over time. I've had it with Anna. I've had it with Jink. And I want to remind everybody that Jink is anti-union. He's against unions. So a lot of the things that we're trying to do, like general strike, direct action, working with unions, working with worker co-ops, he ain't about that noise. He's not really trying to fight for these things. Not really. Not really. So when I saw that Nina went to TYT, what did I tell you guys a couple days ago? Now that Trump is gone, the money is not going to be so much on the left like it was before. Now, don't get me wrong. If you were doing this, I think during, yeah, Bernie's first campaign, 2016, and during his second campaign for 2020, you were doing this during that time, you had a good ride. Because back then, the rhetoric was we have to beat Trump, and Bernie was trying to start a revolution. He wanted to start a movement. But once Trump lost and Biden won, all that went out the window. Guys, look around. Look how people's talking points have changed. Look at all these people simping for Joe Biden now. The same ones who told us not to vote for Joe Biden, by the way. So at some point, you have to ask yourself, do they really believe these things, these issues that they said that we needed to fight for, or were they just following the money? And let's be very clear. TYT has a lot of money. I personally could not go to a network that took that $20 million from Jeffrey Katzenberg, the same guy who wanted homeless people removed in Los Angeles. That guy. So much that he was fighting for it. That doesn't follow leftist ideology. That is not progressive. That sounds like an establishment Democrat. That sounds like a neoliberal. But you got all these people that are okay with it so that they can make money. This is the fall of Bernie's movement. Mark my words. Nina going to TYT, this is the fall of Bernie's movement. Guys, look around. Excuse me. Who's left? Everybody that was in Bernie's campaign, that was a part of his campaign, where are all those people now? Thinking off the top of my head, the only person left that is still preaching these talking points is Breonna Joy Gray. Bernie left. Nina left. They're gone. Aya said, hello, nobody. They're gone. Looking around, guys. Let's pay close attention here, okay? Let's think about what has happened past couple of months. TYT got rid of Kyle. And we all saw that and heard about that through sources close to TYT. Got rid of Kyle. Brought in Nina. This does not sound like the type of network that you should want to work with. So many people that have worked with TYT after they left TYT have had issues with TYT. But there's one common denominator, and that is TYT. Jesus said, yep, I keep saying the only one that hasn't turned her back on the working class is BJG. Exactly. She's the only one left. And look at how much crap people gave her when she said she wasn't going to vote for Joe Biden. Come on now. Come on. Radical leftist agenda said Kyle is weird now too. Exactly. All of the talking points now, you see them praising Joe Biden. Joe Biden's doing a great job. Even Bernie Sanders is saying Biden's doing a good job. The squad is saying it. Them saying like, oh, Biden's so great. I can't believe this. He got us out of Afghanistan. I mean, If I want to hear that, I'll just watch CNN. All of a sudden, all these issues that we said were so important that we were fighting for doesn't matter now because Trump's gone. SM Rigby said, remember, Anna went on a rant saying the homeless people have been offered housing, but they don't want it because they don't want to follow the rules. Yeah, I remember she said that. I talked about that in one of my shows. And it's one of those things where you have to be in that situation and understand the rules that they have in some of those housing. And you also have to understand that they still didn't have enough for everybody to get housing right away. People that get on those lists for housing, it's a waiting list, guys. I know this because it's happened to people in my family before. It's a waiting list. You don't just get into the housing unit like that. Some people can be on those lists for months, for years. It's not that easy. It doesn't happen that fast. Roxanne said they all sold out, that simple. But I tell they're following the money. That's where the money is at. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you something else too if you don't know about this. If you are praising Joe Biden, the algorithm loves you. And you may wonder, well, why is that? Well, YouTube, Google, they also donated to Biden's campaign. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know? Shout out to Me Ling Wee for the super chat. Nina, like Bernie, is a household name. She did not need to run as a Democrat. And so when she did, I knew she was a sellout like Bernie. You know, thank you so much for the super chat. When Nina announced that she was running, that was one of the things that I thought to myself too, like, why doesn't she just run as an independent? Because she's already very popular. After Bernie, she was probably the second most popular person involved in that campaign. I don't know. I don't know. And see, this is why I tell you to stop donating to politicians. Exactly, Alex Peterson. Stop donating to these schmucks. Now you guys see why I say this? They all let you down. If you're going to donate to a third party candidate. Donate to mutual aid. Donate to direct action. Donate to mutual aid to help get this general strike going. That's supposed to happen in October. That is how we're going to get real change in this country. I was thinking about the speech that Nina Turner gave during Bernie's rally in New York City. Man, there was like 20,000 people there. That was a powerful speech. And I thought to myself, if Dems screw Bernie over again, maybe Nina will come back and run. And who knows? Who knows? Hold on, I got a troll in the chat. Okay, that's taken care of. Who knows? Maybe she will run again. Maybe she'll be on TYT and then that will even give her more name recognition and maybe she will run again. Who knows? I don't know. But I've seen people on Twitter, even people who were diehard Nina supporters and fans are cringing over this moment right now. Thanks so much for the super chat. Braith White Bones Spurs Quaker Bush. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Nina Turdner said that she would disappoint. That's true. Thank you so much for the super chat. She did say that. She said, people are going to be disappointed in me. I'm going to show you one of the best tweets I saw in reference to this. This is from Unapologetic. You guys, by the way, if you don't follow Unapologetic, You should definitely do so. Watch his show on YouTube. He's really good. He talks a lot about foreign policy. Um, and this was actually in response to Jordan Sheraton, who also, by the way, was not happy about this move. He tweeted about this as well. He's not happy about the fact that Nina Turner is going to TYT. This is what Unapologetic tweeted. Wow. You mean to tell me lefty firebrand Nina Turner is joining the network smearing activists and opposing every action to advance Medicare for all? It's almost like I was right when I told poor people to stop giving their money to charlatan politicians. Shout out to Unapologetic, man. He keeps it real. He keeps it real. Comrade Ryan, Ohio said, or when on the ground activists in Akron, Ohio, her district, were screaming about Nina not standing up for the oppressed Akronites, especially houseless and camp sweeps in her district, while her advisor was ward consul where sweeps were happening, and have never seen her in the streets. Let me pop out. What is going on, Lawrence? Hi, JD is on and I'm bouncing back and forth. That's so funny. Like I said, I don't know how you guys do that. I don't know how you guys do that. Yes, Little Rock, please go and subscribe to Unapologetic. He's really good. Where Pilgrim said that's true. She was with Hillary before she got on the Bernie train. Yeah, she was a Hillary surrogate. Some people don't know that, and some people forget that. And some people just don't want to mention that. I'm just going to keep it real. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. Shout out to Eric Thomas, who's a Sabby member. We too figure out how to elect politicians that are not bought. Leslie says that Nina was low-key pushing Russia propaganda. I tried to warn people. So this is this strategy, which is not working and it needs to stop. This strategy that progressive candidates are told you need to try to move a little bit more towards the center so you can get the moderate Democrat votes. It doesn't work. It's not working. It hasn't worked before. When you abandon those issues and those policies that are to the left, that are left, not even as far left as I would like them to be, but they're left. When you abandon those, that's when you lose people. That is when you lose us. You can't stop talking about these things. You have to continue to fight for it. Greetings, Dustin. Thanks so much for the super chat. Where's the website I can go to and list what I am for, not against? And it will match me to my best candidate or how to encourage someone to run. That's a good question. In the past, I would have directed you to Justice Democrats' website. I will not do that now because Justice Dems has also been outed for taking dark money. This is where we are, guys. This is where we are. But that would be a good thing to have, Dustin. Hopefully something like that is in the works. What's going on, Rob Durden? Guys, another one you should check out Rob's channel as well, Political Fight Club. But the name of the channel is Robert Durden. But he does a really good political analysis. He said, Nina told us she was going to let us down on Humanist Report. That was the show. Guess this is what she meant. We were warned. We were warned. So, again, we need a strong third party in this country. And we need to start moving towards that now. Not 10 years from now, not 20 years from now, because it takes time. We need to get people to run. If you still believe in electoral politics, you got to go third party at this point. Because like I told you, if you're running as a Democrat or a Republican, at the end of the day, Your alliance is going to be with your party. And Jill Stein has something to say in reference to that. I'm going to get into that in a minute as well. Jill Stein, she was actually on Bad Faith podcast. Let me go ahead and pull up that video because she talked about Bernie Sanders and the Democrats, and she also talked about Movement for a People's Party. So I have two clips I want to show you. So the first one I'm going to show you is the clip about her talking about Bernie being an independent and what that really means, and the Democrats not fighting for these issues that they say they're going to fight for. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. Because this, if you haven't seen this interview, you guys, you should definitely watch this interview. This was a good one. There may be some things said that may surprise you. So the first one, again, is Jill Stein talking about what Bernie being an independent really means, and the Democrats not wanting to fight for the issues that we need them to fight for, $15 minimum wage, etc. Listen to this. Let me go ahead and mute my mic.
And others have recently said and have maintained that they will not vote for the bipartisan infrastructure bill unless the broader human infrastructure bill is also passed. Do you have confidence that they're actually going to stick that landing and force the vote, as it were, on this issue?
I'm afraid not, not by any means. If they couldn't, force a $15 minimum wage or, a vote on Medicare for all, I don't see how they're going to do this where there's a bigger package, a much bigger package at stake. And it's not the be all end all, but it does have a lot of good stuff in it. It's going to be a very hard decision for them. And I just think they are too much a part of the system to be able to flaunt it. It's the same thing that, I sort of see as the curse that Bernie carries around, which is that he's been inside of the echo chamber of Washington, D.C. for a very long time. And while he calls himself an independent, he really doesn't have an independent mindset. Not that he doesn't play a very, very valuable role, but valuable, like how valuable? We have really kind of a convergence of existential threats right now. There's no getting out of here alive unless we really begin to get out of the echo chamber and begin to really consider how to change this. There's very little time here. And I think we need to think of this as, as what could be our, our final effort to turn this breaking point into a tipping point.
So guys, you heard it there. Jill Stein just told you. Notice how she said that while Bernie Sanders calls himself an independent, he doesn't have an independent mindset. And that's because at the end of the day, Dems know that Bernie is going to side with the Dems 99% of the time. 99% of the time. Bill said we need people to vote for any third party they want as long as they are not voting for one of the big two. It is time for it to happen. It is time for it to happen. But it's true. I'm thinking about what Jill Stein said. It makes a lot of sense. Bernie doesn't really have an independent mindset because at the end of the day, if he had an independent mindset, he wouldn't have gone out there and told us to go vote for Joe Biden. If he had an independent mindset, he wouldn't have gone out there and ran around this country, try to get everybody to vote for Hillary Clinton. If he had an independent mindset, instead of coming on the debate stage and calling Joe Biden his friend, he would have called Joe Biden a fraud. He would have called Joe Biden a racist. He would have called Joe Biden out for what he really and truly was. It's easy to come after Joe Biden. One of the first things you can say, you wrote all the crime bills. You say you care about black people. Why'd you write all those crime bills? Why'd you lock all those black people up? 20 years for marijuana. Why'd you do that, Joe? And you wrote the bill with racist Strom Thurmond. But you care about black people. Could have came after Joe Biden about Anita Hill. Could have came after Joe Biden about Joe Biden saying he didn't want his kids to grow up in a racist jungle. There's just so many things you could have came after Joe Biden about. Could have came after him on NAFTA. Bernie waited until that final debate with him and Joe and then tried to hit him on NAFTA. It was too late. I would have hit Joe with that right out the gate. The first debate that I was with, with Joe Biden, I would have brought those things up. Because you notice Kamala Harris didn't wait. But at the end of the day, Joe Biden is his good friend. And at the end of the day, Bernie is going to back the Democrats. He told you that from the very beginning of the Democratic primaries. What did he say? If I don't win, I will back whoever is running in this race. I will back the candidate. Because I can assure you, if it were the other way around, they would have not backed Bernie Sanders. CNN, MSNBC, they would have rather us have Trump than end up with Bernie Sanders. They were attacking a member of the Democratic Party. They're supposed to be the liberal network. They were attacking their own person, their own people. That's how bad they did not want us to end up with Bernie Sanders. Thank you so much, Jill, for the super chat. You can see which politicians you align most closely with at a website called I Side With. I'd drop the link, but YouTube doesn't like me. I'm sorry, Jill. Well, damn. Everybody, let's remember that. I Side With. Thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you for this super chat as well. In 2021, Joe Biden's crime bill is still preventing people with felony drug convictions from getting food stamps. Do you guys hear this? So when Joe Biden and Simone Sanders, when they were pushed and questioned about this, it was, oh, well, you know, what Simone Sanders, what was she like? Oh, well, President Biden, you know, that was in the past. We've moved on from that. First of all, who's we? How have you moved on from something that people were still in jail for? Really? Shout out to Red Precarian, Old Gringo, for the super sticker. Thank you so much, and said liked and shared. Thank you. But do you guys see what I'm getting at here? They ran to battle for Joe Biden, and all of them threw Bernie under the bus. Everyone on that debate stage was against Bernie Sanders, including Elizabeth Warren, who tried to pretend like she was with Bernie at the beginning of the debates. And as time went by, we saw she was just a snake and she was looking out for herself. Because if she was really for Bernie Sanders and she really wanted us to have those issues and those policies passed, she would have dropped out before Super Tuesday and she would have endorsed Bernie Sanders. She stayed in. She knew she couldn't win. She knew exactly what she was doing, because all of those votes, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them that Elizabeth Warren got, if she would have dropped out, those votes 9 times out of 10 would have went to Bernie Sanders. She stayed in to prevent it from happening. So her as well, and yes, she's my state senator here, but I will say this again, she didn't really want you to have these things either. That's my rant for the night. I'm sorry. Exactly, Eric Thomas, snake. She did not want you to have it. Everybody is looking out for their own political career. You mean to tell me everybody attacking you on the stage, and at the end of the day, you go simp for them after you suspend your campaign? Really? They wouldn't have done that for Bernie. Too nice. Too nice. Too afraid to call them out. Because at the end of the day, Those are his friends. Robert Durden said Nader should run again, third party, him or Cornel West or Jesse Ventura. A combination of these could get a third party on the debate stage. And it has happened before. Ross Perot. It can happen again. Valerie said Stein and Hawkins both offered Bernie to come to the Greens when he lost primaries. Yes, they did. And let me go into my second clip because that leads me to MPP. Because Nick Brana also approached Bernie Sanders about this same idea to get you to run in a different party. Bernie Sanders said no, he wanted to run with the Democrats. When someone stabs you in the back the first time, don't go back and run with them the second time, okay? Didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense. Because what Bernie doesn't understand is while his mission, he was like, we have to get Trump out, was to get Trump out. His opponents on that debate stage with him, their mission was to make sure Bernie did not get in. But they're his friends. All about money, all about careers. That is what it's about. Some of these people that say they're fighting for these issues, the ones that told us to go get out in the streets, told us to march, told us that if the DNC tries to screw over Bernie again with the delegates, that we need to go to Milwaukee and we need to protest. Where are they now? They're comfortable. Let me share this clip of Jill Stein, and this is where she's talking about a movement for a People's Party. And now her opinion on this might surprise some of you guys. Like I was kind of surprised with some of the things that she said, but I figured that because she was a part of, a third party, she would be really in favor of this. Not so much. So listen to what she has to say here. I'm going to mute my mic.
What do you make, I'm curious, of alternative third party efforts, principally the Movement for a People's Party? They've argued when asked, why not just support the Green Party, that the Green Party has some particular deficits insofar as it is bogged down with an association as a kind of exclusively environmental party as opposed to a more socialist party. Are you supportive of MPP, or do you think it's a distraction from what the work the Green Party is able to do?
Let me say, I think we need multi-partisan democracy. We do need more parties. I don't find MPP's pitch persuasive because, it sort of reflects that they're new kids on the block here.
In
They
what
think,
way?
oh, you got tarnished, oh, Ralph Nader got smeared. Oh, Jill Stein got smeared. Well, guess what, kids? When you become a threat, you're going to be smeared. Maybe it's already happening. If you get far enough to become a threat, you're going to be smeared. You can't start over every time you get smeared. That's what the rapacious oligarchy wants you to do. They want you to throw out everything you've built and start all over again. We have to be seeking collaboration, working together on ranked choice voting and collaborating around races. And I have not found, MPP interested in that, which to me says they're not quite ready for prime time.
What do you mean they haven't been interested in that?
The efforts that we have made for those kinds of collaborations, they've not been interested. I think there's a great effort here to denigrate the Greens, and I'm not sure what that is about. It's unfortunate. It is misguided. I'm not sure it's coming from everybody, but from certain parts, from certain quarters, it's been sort of their consistent theme. Let's accept working together. How about that? As opposed to trying to eliminate the guys who were here before you for whatever reason.
Yeah,
because you don't
but
like their name.
we'll certainly have we've had we'll have MPP people on, and I hope we can have a panel at some point where we talk about the pros and cons of various approaches here. But I also wanted to ask,
I'd love to have a debate. I would love to have a debate with MPP.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely have to set something like that up.
Okay. That was interesting. Now, I've heard mixed opinions about MPP. I've heard good things, I've heard not so good things, I've heard bad things. It's all been a mixture. It's scrambled in my brain. But what was interesting about Jill Stein is it seemed like, she was saying that the impression that she has is that MPP wants to do away with the Green Party. They want it to just be them and not collaborate. I don't know about that. She's in this, I'm not. But one thing I will say, I think that all these different third parties, it would be great if they could all just come together and merge as one. Just one big ass third party. Because now you have this situation where you have the Green Party. And so if climate change, environmentalism, that's your passion, you might want to go on that side. But then you have Moving for a People's Party, which Paula Jean Swearengin is now a part of now. She's left the Democratic Party. Of course, I can't blame anybody for leaving the Democratic Party. Hello. And they are, they have a board, really popular people, and they are running on being a party of the working people. Here's my take on this. I think the Green Party, this is just what I've seen from experience. I think the Green Party needs to advertise more. I don't see enough advertisement from them. They need to have, I don't know who's in charge of like their marketing, their communications, but there needs to be more advertising. They need to advertise other issues on their platform more. For example, a lot of people don't know this, but did you know that 2020, Howie Hawkins, they had reparations on their platform for the Green Party. The Green Party had reparations on their platform. The majority of the Democratic candidates that were running for president did not have reparations on their platform. But most people that I talk to don't even know that the Green Party had that as a part of their platform. Shout out to Red Precarian, who's a Sabby member, says Green Party needs to get state offices fully staffed. Yeah, there's some work that needs to be done there. There's some work that needs to be done. Greens have been doing this for a long time now, but the name is not getting out the way that it should. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't expect mainstream media to cover them like this. But I look back on it. When I was watching independent media, left independent media, I didn't really see the Green Party covered much. Bernie was everywhere. Let's be real. But I did not see the Green Party's platform or the candidates covered the way that it should have been. And maybe that's something that needs to change as well. In reference to MPP, one thing I will say is that I have seen them out in the streets. They are doing activism. I think there are some things, there's room for improvement there with MPP as well. It's a new party. When you're a new organization, you're going to have issues. I know I've been a part of a lot of new organizations, not always by choice. And starting out can be rough. But what I don't like is to see these two parties not collaborate. It would be great to see them collaborate and work together. Imagine what they could accomplish if they came together. Shout out to Ben Catabriga, who is now a Sabby's member. Thank you so much and welcome. So That is my take on that. I really feel like we could actually get more accomplished if all those third parties came together and were one big party. That's just my take on that. Because when you have all these separate third parties, now you got the Green Party, you got MPP, now you're splitting votes amongst the third party. Whereas if they were just all one big party, they would have all of those votes together. That's my take on it. Now, it was really interesting to me too. I like Jill Stein. I She's another one that I felt like she did not get enough attention, excuse me, enough attention. She didn't get enough attention that she should have received. And I remember they weren't even really talking about her on mainstream media much until she reached 7%. And you only need 5%, guys, to get federal funding. Then once she received 7%, mainstream media tried to smear her. She's a Russian agent. That's how it works because she was cutting into the Hillary vote. They wanted to blame Jill Stein. How dare you run? How dare you give us Hillary? It's really interesting to me. But yeah, MPP is new. They are the newer organization on the block. I get it. But here's the thing. Sometimes when a new group, gets on the scene, they are able to look at some of the cons that have happened with organizations that came before them. And this is with any group, any organization. You can always do that. You can look at your predecessors and see what you liked about them or what you didn't like about them and say, oh, well, I think they should improve in this area. When I start my group, we're going to do it this way instead. So those things do happen. What I don't like to see is this divide between the two. I wish there was a way that they could come together. Now, I've also heard that Jesse Ventura wanted to run as well as part of the Green Party, and they told him no. I don't know. I don't know about all that so deep. I don't know about the details about that. But that's another one where Jesse Ventura has been able to win as an independent. He's also well known. And this is why I tell you, for a third party candidate to really make waves, you really need to have someone who's popular, someone who's well known. Valerie said, that's what I've been saying directly to MPP and Green since MPP announced. Never get an answer from anyone. Yeah, like if there's a way we could just bring them all together. Shout out to Alice Hamers, who's a Sabby member. Green Party is suppressed. Really was up to Nick Branna. Why didn't Nick join Green Party with essentially the same platform? Jill was handcuffed to a chair 2016 keep her off the primary debate. I do remember that happening. That's a good question. I don't know. That's a question for Nick Branna. That's a good question. Maybe there were things that he saw that he felt should change and he didn't think it was going to happen. So just figured, let me start my own thing. Now, there are pros and cons with both organizations, and it would really be great if they could find a way to work this all out and come together. Jilly Love said Jess was happy the police took back our city after Minneapolis police brutality riots. So no. Oh no. Oh no, not happy about that. Maybe Jesse not a good one. Did not know about that. No, 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 no. Jesus said, very superficial on my part, but MPP actually turns me off. We need a name that inspires and gets to the point, like labor, working class, or proletariat party. I don't know why I can't pronounce things today. That's a good point too. That's a good point too. I don't even know about like Labor Party, because that appeals to just about everybody. But Yeah, it's just one of those things. I just wish they could find a way to come together and not be so divided, if that makes sense. Because they have a common enemy. They have a commonality here. They don't want to run as Dems. So there you go. Matt said Jesse wanted to change the Green platform. The Green said no. So he said he didn't want to be green. Okay. Well, there you go. That's good to know. That is good to know. Science said the Labour Party is in the UK. You guys have a lot of parties there. See, that's the thing. You talk to people in other countries, they have like all these multiple like parties. And here it's just like blue or red, Dem or Republican. That's how it is. Alice Hamer said, my parents voted American Labor Party in 1952. Wow. Wow. Could you imagine if we had like Labor Party in the United States? Because like that would unite. And I think this was the goal of MPP, is to unite people with a people's party, that where you could get like people from the right and people from the left under one umbrella, because you're appealing to the working people. So like I said, we all have things we got to work on. It is what it is. But a debate with Jill Stein and MPP, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Where did the time go? I talk a lot, you guys. It's almost 8 o'clock already. So I am pulling up on my last story for tonight. And this one is a tough one. Um, this was some unexpected news. Not I was not expected to hear this yesterday, but here we are. Just let me share my screen. And this goes far back for me. So Norm Macdonald, comedian and Saturday Night Live star, dies at 61. This was pretty, I don't know, man. This kind of took me back. This took me back to the 90s. Norm Macdonald, the deadpan comedian, actor, writer, and SNL star, has died after a battle with cancer. I didn't even know he was sick, you guys. Variety has confirmed. He was 61 years old. McDonald privately battled the disease for almost a decade. For almost 10 years, you guys. Norm was an original. He defined American humor with honesty and blunt force. Dozens of comedians, including Seth Rogen, Jon Stewart, Ron Funches, and Jim Gaffigan, paid tribute to McDonald, one of the greatest comedians to have ever lived, on social media. The comedian got his start in showbiz as a writer on Roseanne in 1992. Oh my God, you guys remember Roseanne? That show was something else. After making rounds at comedy clubs in Canada, he joined the cast of SNL in 1993, and next year began his memorable stint as Weekend Update anchor until early 1998, when he was replaced by Colin Quinn. And I was not a fan of Colin Quinn in that role. Like when Norm left, I was like, oh my God, like bring back Norm. McDonald was known for his dry humor, non sequiturs, and impressions of Burt Reynolds, David Letterman, Larry King, Quentin Tarantino, and they forgot Bob Dole. Bob Dole that was my favorite impression that he did, because I don't know if you guys know, but Bob Dole used to talk about himself in a third person, and he did it so well. I can't believe they didn't put that one on here. Anyway, yeah. So and it goes on to talk more and more about it. I have to tell you about the 1990s cast of SNL. Let me pop out. I'm gonna pull this up for you guys, because some of you guys may not know, but SNL in the 90s was absolutely hilarious. Like to the point where I wouldn't miss an episode of SNL. They were so funny. Who did we have? I'm going to pull up this picture. I want to show you guys who was a part of that 90s cast. Now, there were different people, in and out. I don't know if this picture shows everybody, but here's some of them. Here's one picture. I'm going to show you this one. Let me share my screen. Because this just really, let me share my screen really quick. Because this show was epic to me. Like, that was one of those things I looked forward to Saturday night, was to watch Saturday Night Live. This is one version of the 90s cast. Like I said, they had different people come in and out. And you had Chris Rock, you had Adam Sandler, Dana Carvey, Chris Farley. Chris Farley was hilarious. You guys got to watch his skits with Motivational Speaker. Oh my God, Phil Hartman. He died. Tim, David Spade, Kevin. This doesn't show everybody. Like I said, they had people come in and out. But what you guys got to understand about this cast, in my opinion, SNL has not been funny since the 90s. And I have tried. I have tried numerous times to watch SNL. Numerous times. I just can't. I can't. They might have now, every now and then, there's one clip that they do that's kind of funny. But in the 90s, you watch the whole show. It was so funny. Like I said, Chris Farley was like, he had his motivational speaker character. I remember when Pat Swayze was on there and they did the Chippendales dance together. They were hilarious. Adam Sandler was funny on there. Chris Rock, like, I can't laugh at SNL like that anymore. It doesn't grab me like that. I don't know. Maybe it's more of a nostalgia thing. What do you guys think? Valerie said, hasn't been consistently funny since the early days. Yeah, and my parents will probably tell you that they feel that SNL in the late 70s, 80s was probably the best cast. But for me, it was the 90s, man. They were hilarious. Yes, Virtual Jonathan. Chris Farley's character, motivational speaker, is Matt Foley. That guy, oh my God. Living in a van down by the river. Cloud Skies now says SNL today is trash. It's just not funny anymore. I've tried. I've really tried. Especially when they have on a really great host or a musical guest. And it doesn't make me laugh like that anymore. But anyway, Norm Macdonald was a part of the 90s group. And my favorite character that he did was Bob Dole. Because I was like, oh my God, he sounds just like him. He even kind of looked like him in a way. So rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. That's unfortunate. Another great passed away. Another great comedian gone, Shout out to Red Precarian for the super chat. Were we more open to humor back then? Younger? Different times? Maybe? I think back then we were less PC. Like, honestly, if you go back and watch some of the movies that were really popular, like in the 90s, if that movie came out today, it would be the liberals would eat it up. Like, some of the things I grew up watching, there's no way if that came out today, it would not fly. So I think we weren't as PC back then. You're definitely younger, and it was different times. Also, there was no social media, no Twitter, no Facebook, none of that. So you didn't have to worry about that. You didn't have to deal with like being harassed with people on social media if you felt a certain way about, an episode or something like that. Very different. Very, very different. Who just said that in the chat? Where is it? James? Oh my God, no, absolutely. There is no way we will see In Living Color again. Oh my God, no. Are you kidding me? In Living Color made fun of everything and everybody. There's no way we'd be able to see those skits. If that came out today, they would be banned. People would be like, cancel In Living Color. How much you want to bet? Raise your hand if you used to watch In Living Color. I know some people out there in the chat know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, agree. Wear a Pilgrim and Living Color was really good, especially with the original cast. I agree. Yes. They were funny. Nobody did. No, you just couldn't do it today, man. You couldn't do it. Greg Bruce says, homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that. And remember the two guys that used to, they would review the movie reviews and they would say, hated it. I'm not going to do the actual thing on here because people would come for me. I'm telling you, I'd get canceled. I don't think they'd be able to do that today. I don't think they'd be able to do it today. So different. So different. Yes, Robin, the Fly Girls. You guys remember J-Lo used to be a Fly Girl? She was one of the dancers. That show was just so, see, I've gone on a tangent now. But In Living Color, that show was so genius now that I look back on it. Because everybody, especially that original cast, nobody could do that stuff. Jim Carrey was on there. Remember Fire Marshal Bill? Nobody could do it. That was good. That's what it was called, Sledge GE2. Men on film can't be made today. No. Nope. Hell, there's people trying to go back and cancel Eminem. They're trying to cancel him today for the songs that he made for my generation. And I thought about that and I was like, oh God, he could definitely not come out with these songs today. Oh my God, no. John said Sabrina didn't watch Mad TV. I watched some of Mad TV, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think I was partial to SNL. And again, I think part of it was just nostalgia. When Mad TV came out, I was like, oh man, now they're trying to be like SNL, but they were funny too. They had some good stuff. I think that show ended too soon, to be honest. But yeah, it's hard to compete. Shout out to Echo J, Anton Jackson and his pickle jar. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God. You couldn't do some of this stuff now. Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle Show, if that came out today, oh my God. Because comedians can't say that stuff now. They just, Def Comedy Jam. Oh my God, yeah. Some of the stuff that was said on there. Man, we were tough back then. I'm telling you, we were tough. And we didn't get angry about those things either. Absolutely. Oh, I see people love. Yes, Valerie loves Chappelle. Yes. Couldn't do some of those skits today, though. I'm Rick James. Woohoo! People were saying that for months too. Like after those episodes came out, I was like, oh my God. People would just say it for no reason. Like I would be hanging out with my friends and I'm like, do you want to go to McDonald's? I'm Rick James. That's how funny it was, man. That's how funny it was. I'm not going to keep you guys much too longer, but RIP Norm Macdonald, huge loss to the comedy community. And it just brought me back. It just made me think about the 90s SNL cast and all those cool skits and stuff like that. Like, that's a good one to get. If you don't have that, you guys, if you want to get the collection for the 90s SNL, I recommend getting the collection because it's really funny. All right, guys, I am going to head out. I will not be here tomorrow because I have roundtable with FHL, but I'll be back here Friday night. So catch me then. And if you like what I do, feel free to donate to me on Patreon. You can use the link in the description to this video because I don't know what's going on with the bottom of the screen. It just is what it is. Just keeping it real. I do have something exciting coming for you guys next week. I'm going to debut it on here and I'm not going to tell anybody else about it before then. I'm going to try to be quiet about it. I'm going to try my best. Anyway, guys, you know how we do this. Have a good night. Keep up the fight.